There's the cheese.
Goes the geek.
Welcome back, everyone, to D&D. Recap. Last time, you guys got well and truly stuck in to the Olmasserin forest and encountered some of the dangers within. You encountered a rather large creature, which you figured out was a dragon tortoise. This beast that could move through the forest and use some form of magical ability to cause the trees and plants and things to shift peacefully out of its way and then return to their position behind it. You were attacked in the night by a creature intent on devouring you as it tried to attack you. Stix was rendered unconscious at one point, but through a combination of divine magic was brought back to his feet before he even hit the deck and was able to counter and finish off the attacking creature. You also encountered a slightly scatterbrained amethyst dragon that gave you a lot of information about why only elves are allowed within the borders of the forest, which was all due to the fate of an old dragon, a very ancient dragon who was known as the Great Protector, was the name that you were given for it, who used to watch over the forest but was influenced by a group called the Cult of the Dragon into becoming a Dracolich, at which point the positive influence they had on the forest was reversed by their undead nature. So the elves gathered in force to slay the dragon, resulting in the death of many, many hundreds, if not thousands of them. As a result, they were vastly diminished in number and withdrew into the forest and essentially kicked out everyone who wasn't an elf or a half-elf in order to maintain control of their borders without other villages of non-elves and things springing up. And that was about where we left off. You guys had just departed from where you met this amethyst dragon whose name was Searle. And you were heading on your way towards the elven city of Elyhalion. That's where you were headed.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, as you start continuing on your journey again, Arwen, you feel a small sort of vibration coming from your pack.
Wasn't me. It's not mine.
Investigating, you discover it's this magical communication stone that you have been given in the past by the wizard Matilda, who was a red dragonborn.
Good old Matilda.
I think I remember Matilda. Or am I thinking of someone else?
You're probably thinking of someone else, as this was a session near the beginning of the campaign with it was just Arwen in it.
Right.
Matilda, for context, was I'll tell you about Matilda.
Yes. She was kind of like a scientist, but not really, and she had this travelling house that somehow accidentally came into the woods, and then I became friends with her to find some stuff for some sort of spell thing that she wanted, and now we're besties and we're pen pals, but on a stone.
So
basically, I got some nightmare
your
hairs as well.
stone
That's all I remember.
contacting you through the ice stone.
So the stone is vibrating, and when you pick it up, you hear the recognisable, excitable voice of Matilda. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Ah, hello! Yes. I remember. No, I definitely remember it. I remember it. It was.
Arwen's going crazy. She's
My name.
It began with an A. I know it.
Oh my.
Albert.
Alfred. Angus. These are men's names.
Arwen. That was it.
So eventually.
Yes. Hello, Arwen. I think this is the person I'm looking for. You were the one who I almost landed my house on, yes?
Yes.
And you kindly got me some ingredients. You hunted down a nightmare for me, yes?
Yes.
Excellent. This is the right one.
Sorry, you gave pen pal phones to other people.
Well, I have several magic rocks and sometimes they do different things.
I thought we were friends.
Well, yes. I've managed to sell some stuff and come into some money, and you were rather helpful before, so if you happened to come across some rare ingredients that I'm after, it would be a great help if you could let me know. I don't know if you've ever heard of a creature called a purple worm?
A purple worm?
I will say nothing.
Yes, they're quite venomous, so be careful, but if you do happen to encounter one, I think it's worm venom that I'm after. I'm not 100% sure. In case I don't know if you remember, everything's a bit experimental for me, so...
yes, I remember.
So I'm hoping the purple worm venom is what I'm after, but if you happen to see one, I'll happily pick up...
venom.
Yeah, if you could grab some and let me know, that would be great.
Okay. Is it a big worm or is it a small? What kind of... Am I supposed to dig? Is it like an earthworm?
They're quite big worms, yes.
Quite
purple worms, yes.
big.
They're definitely bigger than your average worms, if I remember rightly. Big venom. Yeah, that seems to cover it.
Okay.
What is it exactly that we need from it? Did you say it's venom?
It's venom, yeah.
I see.
Well, okay. I'll keep an eye out.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Cool.
Go silent at this point.
Oh, okay. Bye then. Bitch.
You guys, by the way, have heard nothing of this. You've just heard Arwen's side of the conversation as she's talking to a rock, and all you hear right at the end is her call a rock a bitch.
Are you okay there?
Anyone heard of a purple worm?
Have I heard of a purple worm?
You can make a nature check for me.
I know Ben certainly has. Just today, in fact, I was looking over its snapshot on it. Not to use against you, just because I was intrigued about the things I could have thrown at you. And things you missed out on. Nature. I swear I had proficiency in nature. I did. Fucking A.
So, 24. Let me grab a book so I can tell you information accurately rather than off the dome.
Basically, I'm just going to tell you, fuck off.
N-O-O-P, that's what I'm after.
Yeah.
There we are. So a purple worm, you know, is an incredibly large burrowing creature. You know that they are indeed extremely venomous. They be an extremely potent venom. And they carve through the earth, causing sort of tunnels underneath the ground. But yes, they are in fact gargantuanly huge. They're not
told
like.
me it was a bit bigger than an earthworm.
She lied.
She
This
Not
thing-
necessarily lied. Possibly just didn't know.
This thing is massive. Its venom will destroy you. It will swallow you friggin' whole.
Well,
Bones and all.
we need to find one.
No.
If you want 1,000 gold.
Get its venom.
Well, I'm sure she can retrieve venom off our rotting corpses after she gets swallowed in with us. It's fine. I'm sure we can handle a purple one. One day, maybe in the future, when I've got the sword of a god, maybe.
It's fine. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. So keep your eyes peeled for opportunities to pick up purple worm venom.
So much could go
Do
wrong.
they make like mole holes?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay. If anyone trips on a mole hole, let me know.
Well, it's not exactly going to be a mole
On a
hole.
10-foot diameter mole hole.
Yeah, it's going to be like a massive hole that you would not be able to miss.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds fun.
I don't know if it was a gargantuan creature, but it wasn't like thick. It was still like as like thin and spindly as a worm. Just one really
Oh.
long.
Oh dear.
That'd be so weird. Anyway. Yeah, probably. Yeah. No, but then you make two of them. Yeah, you just have lots of smaller worms. Which
kill one?
you don't. That's the fun part. You don't kill worms.
Oh yeah.
If you can. But oh my god, if we kill this thing, is it just gonna become like two like a blue and a red worm?
Oh my god, I love that as colour theory.
In color theory with D&D.
You've got your primary worms,
Your secondary
and the
worm.
secondary worms,
Tertiary
and then your
worm.
tertiary worms.
Oh no.
Well,
But, each one is it gets progressively smaller as you cut it down to size. So you're eventually surrounded by tiny, tiny little earthworms.
this is what's terrifying. Oh dear lord.
The little rainbow.
A little rainbow spectrum of worms. And now
That
I
would
have
be-
a fun idea for a new monster. Unless Ben steals it first.
You know what? You can have it because running like thousands of tiny little worms. Not thousands. You never get that far. But
Yeah.
oh my god! And then imagine. So if it is like one really really big worm, when you cut it, does it lose thickness as well, or are all of these just like little chode worms? Right. What happens?
Yes, I think it would scale down proportionally in length and diameter.
I see.
So
Like
you
a
don't have a worm that's like an inch or like 3 inches long, but 10 foot wide.
So it'll be like a mini pepperami, not like a big chunk of.
Not like a big salami. Yeah. Yes.
That would be so creepy. Anyway, okay, keep an eye out for a massive, unmissable purple worm. Gotcha.
Correct.
Cool.
Nice.
Okay. Can't wait to die to that one.
Take bets who's gonna die to it.
I've got 3-1 on Stix.
You know what? Me too, because you lot can ranged attack it. Stix. Oh no, he's got a sword and divine smite. All of his abilities require him to be within 5 to 10 feet of attacking.
I'd argue while Clary does have ranged weapons, she's proved that she cannot use them.
If it's any consolation, Ben, it's gargantuan, so you could always just Misty Step on top of it, which seems to be the Stix go-to.
Oh my god, yes, because if I'm on its side, it can't bite me or eat me.
What if it consumes?
Is the venom in the bite or in the skin?
Well, then you have to wait 2 to 3 working days for me to come back again.
The venom you would, well, with Stix 24, the venom you would guess would be in its stinger.
Okay. Oh god, it has a stinger as well.
It does have a stinger, yes. It's 24.
How do you think it would get the venom onto you? Just sort of crawl on you and rub it off.
Like frogs.
Oh yeah, I guess if you touch it, just stay the hell away from it.
Wait, what's venom?
Venom is if it bites you and you die, that's venom. So if it stings you and you die, that's venom.
Venom is the bad one. Poison, don't eat it.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we cut the worm in half, there would be one with a stinger and one with a mouth. They wouldn't unless they grew.
Yeah, that's true. It would take some time for it to
Grow
a new stinger and grow a new mouth.
Eventually, you just have lots of one with a stinger, one with a mouth, and lots of worms with nothing.
Lots of ones in the middle with nothing.
Oh, but the stinger is wild because it can't see anything.
Like a wacky wavy inflatable man. Except dangerous.
I don't think it's dangerous when the wind stops.
Don't you let go of a really powerful hose?
Oh my god.
Anyway, you carry on through the forest, this exciting news, revelation, invitation about... No, none of you currently know whether or not you're in purple worm territory, so every slight gust of wind could be a purple worm, or it could just be the wind. And then as you're walking along, there is a crashing through the undergrowth off to your side, and quickly bounding in front of your path is a herd of deer, and you almost stop all of a sudden as they seem to be running from something, as spooked herds will do, and sort of takes maybe 10-15 seconds and 20 or so deer cross your path before they scatter off and disappear into the undergrowth on the other side of the trail.
I really thought you were about to say a purple worm.
Yeah, I think that takes foreshadowing a little on the nose.
Suddenly, you're a really crappy 90s sitcom.
I can't speak with animals once a day. Animal friends. Oh no, wait on. Oh, bees.
Is it a load of deer or elk who just sort of walk past?
Yeah, it's a herd of deer.
Well, could I have summoned Elvis at this point?
Yeah.
So I'm walking past, and there's these deer, and then there's Elvis.
Yes, the four of you are walking along, following the trail in the vaguely southwest direction, and so you hear this sudden increase in noise and this pounding through the undergrowth, and this this lead deer quickly followed by 2, 3, 4, 5 more, quickly breaks out of the brush and darts across in front of you. It takes barely a few seconds for the whole herd to quickly cross your path and is disappearing off the other way again.
I think they're running from something. Should we run too?
I don't know. Well, deer gather. They're they're well, not pack animals necessarily, but they stick as a unit, as a herd. There are many deer. What's I don't know what you call a group of deer, but I think they like to chill out together, and therefore I'm going to say I think it's just some pretty deer.
Just some pretty deer.
Just some pretty deer. And I will also say, whenever JJ mentions anything about any sort of undergrowth or ground now, I'm going to shit myself. But yes, lovely little deer. I shall name that one Bambi 1, that one Bambi 2, and that one Bambi 3.
That one's Bambi's mum.
Carry on walking for the day.
Yeah, I don't think there's... Yeah, alright. Keep on going.
As the sun slowly starts to set and the afternoon fades into early evening, when you hear another sound, again off to the side, moving slowly towards you this time. Whatever this is moving at a much more sedate pace.
Another tortoise.
No, it doesn't sound nearly as heavy as the tortoise. If you want to make a perception check.
What I was gonna say. 19.
So, based on the number of footsteps you can hear, you reckon this is 3, maybe 4 people.
People?
Yeah.
People.
Humanoids, something like that. But only you would pick up on this initially. You've got the highest passive perception.
Which direction are they?
They're just off to one side.
I'm gonna just whisper to everyone, get behind a tree, there's people coming.
Why are we suddenly really suspicious about everybody?
Because we're in the elf place, and the elves hate us.
I mean, I don't know what you've done to the elves, but personally, I think I'm alright with them.
I'm gonna hide behind a tree if you don't mind.
Cool. I will send them politely on their way. I mean, I'm a half-elf. I guess I sort of count, right?
Yeah, but you and Arwen are half-elves, so you are allowed within the forest.
Sweet!
Gonna hide
Very
behind a
nice.
tree.
Yeah, we can pass you off as an elf.
What about Neo?
Neo? Neo...
He can turn himself
He
into
like
that
his...
face thing.
He does, yes.
Do the face thing.
Do the face thing.
the face thing.
You tell Neo
Do
to
the
do the face
face
thing.
The face thing. Wait, is that a spell thing? Oh, it's not. Do the face thing, because then you can do it whenever.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The face thing.
Yeah, so Neo reaches into his pack and pulls out a wooden mask you've only seen him use once before. But it's a very plain, kind of rough-hewn wooden mask that doesn't seem to have any straps or anything like that. It's got no paint or embellishment in that regard. And as he places it up and slips it onto his face, it just melds smoothly into his skin, and you see the skin on his face slowly fade from purple to a smooth light pink. His hair changes colour from this raven black to a dark chestnut brown. His ears extend and become slightly pointed, and his horns just slowly fade into nothing as Neo applies his mask of many faces.
Well, that's deeply unsettling.
I like the horns better.
This is very...
if you reach up and like put a hand on his head, the horns are still there.
Yay!
They're just invisible. Just knock slightly, like horns do. So they are hard and bony.
I still need to try that later. Oh my god, yes. Okay, plans.
Oh no. Oh no. What's happening later?
Cool. Arwen, go hide. Klari, are you hiding or are you not hiding? You're pretty good at both.
I don't know. I feel like it makes it more suspicious if we hide, though, if they capture us.
They won't catch you. I've got a plan.
Yeah, I'll hide then.
Cool. Alright. You two go hide.
Okay.
I'll steer them away, see who they are, with the help of Neo.
Those of you hiding, make stuff.
Okay, Neo, we are traveling merchants from somewhere.
I feel like we should know where.
I do know we should probably know where. And I don't think a far off land is gonna cut it this time. What was Denderport? That's it. Yeah, we've come from Denderport. We were taking stuff down there, and now we're coming back home. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And we sell.
Seashells
Stop.
on the seashore.
Yeah. No. Wait. Actually, that could work. Denderport's a port. They probably have a lot of seashells there.
Who wants to see the show?
Crap, we don't have any seashells. Shit. What do we have lots of? I swear to God, Neo, if you say you have a mask. Okay, I've got it. We'll just say odds and ends. We'll just say odds and ends, and if it has to say odds and ends, I'll just like, I've got like that weird stylus stone thingy. And hunting trap for some reason. Right, tinderbox, whatever that is.
Tinderbox is something you use for lighting fires.
Oh,
It's the
I
thing
don't
you'd have
think
like
that's
your
shit.
flint.
It is.
It's the thing you'd have your flint and steel in, and bits of tinder for lighting a fire.
what's the point in that? What if you just make fire in hand?
Not everyone can do that.
Well, that sucks to be them. I also have rope. Okay, yeah, okay. I feel like we got a backstory covered.
Okay.
My name is
Your name?
Ella.
Ella.
Yes.
Is it pronounced like that?
Yeah, with like with like 5 L's. Yeah, Ella. You are. I don't know. Neo's a pretty cool name anyway. I'm sure we'd stick with Neo.
Okay.
Oh,
So, Klari and Arwen, you both think you are
Right.
very well hidden. You do not think that there is any chance you will be seen at all. You continue moving for a couple more minutes, and then through the trees, Stix, you spot 3 figures walking. One out in front with a bow sort of in one hand, held an arrow knocked loosely, and then 2 slightly further back. They have a long branch suspended between, they're carrying like a long branch on their shoulders, and suspended from that is the body of a deer.
Oh. Well, that's. Okay.
What do the people look like?
from this distance, you can just about make out 3 humanoid figures, all with longish hair, all tied back, wearing varying shades of green and brown. They're all carrying bows and quivers. And the 2 that are carrying this deer on a large stick have their bows and their quivers slung over the back. The other one, as I say, had his bow held loosely in their hand.
Can I identify from here how they got the deer? Like, how it died? Or even as they, like, come closer?
Yeah, make a perception check to see if you can spot that from this distance.
I mean, they're all holding bows.
Shit!
It's not dark, but the light has certainly dropped from the bright afternoon sun you were walking in a couple of hours ago. And the deer is sort of, with their step, is sort of bobbing backwards and forwards, so it's not easy to see at this distance. But indeed, as you're almost sort of standing there peering through the forest at them, the one out in front with the bow, their head turns and they catch sight of you, and they quickly draw the bow up and draw the arrow to their shoulder, aiming in your direction. And then when they pause for a moment and see you, and they very slightly relax, but they don't fully release the bow, fully let go. They're still sort of holding it half drawn in your direction. You see them turn and say something over their shoulder, and the group starts walking in your direction now.
Hello, friends. No need to be alarmed. I'm the ghost of Christmas past. No.
That would be a very hard sell.
Mate, I got +7 in persuasion.
I
Come
actually
at
think that face Abby just made is exactly what Arwen's reaction is.
No.
Wait, so they're walking up to us with their bows not drawn, but they've got arrows.
Yeah, the one out in front, he's got the bow was held loosely at the side before, but upon seeing you, drew an arrow as if to shoot something when he heard you, and then upon seeing people, especially elven-looking people, has relaxed somewhat, but is still holding it in a sort of half-ready position. So
no need to be alarmed.
He's sort of lowered it, so you know how if you're you see in films and stuff when they've got sort of an arrow sort of 3/4 pulled but still pointed at the ground, so they can just snap it up if anything. He's just in a little bit more of a ready position.
No need to be alarmed, is all. We are mere humble travellers on the road. Good hunt today. I'm not trying to make an accent. That's just me being weird. Good hunt today, gents. See, you've caught some stuff.
Yeah, as the 2 behind approach, you can see now that excuse me, that the one in front of the pair holding the body of the deer is a female elf. And in fact, as she draws closer, you can see she's indeed quite an old-looking elf. Elves live a very long time, and generally don't often potentially make it to the age where they show it. The majority of elves tend to have this timeless look anywhere between 25 and 50, but for this elf to be showing her age, there is grey in her hair and lines on her face, is quite rare. But she still stands tall and walks strong, holding the weight of half of this deer on her shoulder.
Gee. Ma'am, lady.
And as they walk up, indeed, she sort of steps forward and past the elf that's being slightly more aggressive. Says, "Come now, Theron. We don't need to. I'm sure these people mean us no harm."
Exactly.
He puts like an arm across him and like pushes his bow even further towards the ground.
No harm here. Just humble wares is all. Wears and tears from voyages long made and travelled. Voyages and travels made and travelled.
Allow us to introduce ourselves. I am Ileana. This charming fellow is Theron, and the quiet one in the back is Carrick. Carrick at the back just sort of waves a hand and doesn't say anything. And Theron eyes both of you and with a grunt and just sort of, It's like merchants, was it? What do you sell?
Odds and ends, that sort of thing. That'd be really funny if any of you played Skyrim. Yeah, bit of everything. Whatever we sort of come across. What are you after?
Just kind of sort of like shrugs and takes off. It's like, we're not used to seeing merchants
Around these parts, you know, not many merchants. Supply and demand, good sir.
Indeed. Well, what is your supply?
As I said, bit of this, bit of that. Whatever we seem to sort of come across, really. Yeah.
Well, presumably where you are located, you are bound for Elyhalion. Mayhaps we should walk together and camp for the evening.
Oh no, don't worry about that. We're actually here, just taking a bit of a rest. We've travelled quite far, and we just thought we'd get some rest, get our bearings for a little while. You'll go ahead. We'll maybe we'll meet you in the city. I'll keep my eye out for you. If you should ever need any odds and ends, come to LR's Odds and Ends.
Where do you hail from? LR?
Well, me and my partner here don't really hail from anywhere. We're sort of a bit weird like that. On the road types, you know. Never in a place long enough to call it home. That sort of edgy thing. I mean, if we call a place home, then we can't go out places and pick stuff up, can we?
As you say. But, well, you know, these old bones. I think, as you say, if you're here for a rest, I think this is as good a place as any to stop.
Yeah, excellent. That's grand. Perfect. Well, good. Everyone loves a bit of company. Don't we, Neo? Shit. If you wouldn't mind me just sort of, I just need to grab something out of my elk. I'm just gonna jump behind Elvis a second. It's like I'm imagining I'm on Elvis now, and I'm just gonna sort of jump behind Elvis and try and druid grab the skunk smell without them seeing, and I'm just gonna sort of send a look to Neo and try and, in that look, it probably won't work, but in that look, try and sort of think like, I'm going to do something, distract them, sort of thing.
Okay. Make performance check and
Gladly.
an insight check. Oh dear. I mean, Neo's not
Is he bad at reading people?
terrible insight. He's actually got proficiency in insight, but that does only make it a 9. So you give Neo a look, and it's kind of hard to read his face because it's not the face you're used to seeing. And now you study it, Stix. Looking at Neo's face, it almost looks similar to your face. Like he's modelled it on your face, but with some deliberate changes. The eyes are a slightly different colour, and the nose is a different shape. But you can almost see a little bit of yourself in the face that he's chosen to.
Want me to drink first, mate? He did! He bought us all rooms. Oh, no, you can do what you want.
But yeah, so you're not 100% sure whether or not he's picked up on the message you're trying to convey with this look. Now, roll a sleight of hand check to stealthily.
Oh, shit! Oh! Come on! Although I just realised it's a skunk smell. Isn't it a bit weird that we're staying around?
It's not just started though. So
Yeah.
it's just happened.
Can I
Whatever.
do something really quickly?
Okay.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask Hugo
Mm-hmm.
to ask Neo
Mm-hmm.
if we've ever seen this Ileana person before. Because why do I recognise her name?
You recognise it from the Ox Venture, from
Thank
Liliana.
you. Okay, right, that's fine. Next.
You recognise it because it's similar to a name of someone else in a different campaign.
Okay.
So, Stix, you take a moment to duck. Let's say you're still mounted on Elvis at this point, and you slide off on the opposite side, using the motion of doing so to druidcraft the smell of skunk. As you do so, druidcraft the smell of skunk, and indeed, the smell of skunk suddenly fills everyone's nostrils.
Oh, God, I'm really sorry about that. We came across a vendor the other day, and I think what he was selling was a bit off. If you're going to stick around, I'm really sorry. That happens quite often.
Oh, no.
Theron looks at you and says, "Gee, cripes, was that you?"
Yeah. Never try goblin. Ever. No, not goblin. I won't say goblin. That's horrible. Never try, what's a horrible animal? Never try weasel.
Oh,
Yeah. Never try purple worm. Ever. Horrible stuff. Really. It's like eating smelly cement.
Elyhalion puts a hand on Theron's shoulder and says, "I believe he's joking with you. That is not a natural... Well, it is a natural smell. Theron, go see if you can catch the beast that made that stench."
wasn't me.
And sort of gestures off.
Funny joke.
Gestures off in the direction he kind of goes, "Ugh," and like you can hear him sort of like stomping away through the trees. At which point her sort of calm demeanour changes and she grips you quite forcefully by the arm, Stix, and says, "I don't know why you are here, but you and your companion should probably leave. His disguise is excellent. However, there are so few as old as I who can see through it. Theron clings to the old ways, or well, the new ways, and would not react well if he found out. I myself am not bothered, but we must uphold the law. If he can maintain his disguise for some time, we can potentially travel together, and before separating, we can separate before we reach the city, and you can bypass it as you choose.
I think it's best you guys just go. You don't want to be around us. And can I make that with an intimidation check?
Make an intimidation check.
Just to sort of like as she sort of grabbed my arm, I'm just going to sort of pull my sort of arm back, step up to her a little bit and start somewhat threateningly say such things.
Yeah. Roll intimidation.
Shit! Thought that would work. What do you want from me?
So as you say this, she kind of just chuckles and says,
She wants to go. She wants to travel with us. I don't want her to travel with us. I mean, you guys have to stealth the entire friggin' way.
As you say this, she kind of just chuckles and says, "Trust me, I fought far more scary things than you." And a little bit of magic fades from the side of her face, and this beautiful blue eye and the little bit of skin around it just turns into this ruinous, burned, melted patch of skin before it snaps back again.
Oh dear God. Okay.
Trust me, my boy, I'm old. I've seen a lot.
Evidently.
Better not to raise Theron's suspicions any further.
Then I think yes, we will make our leave. It is fairly clear that we're probably not going to get very far here. Be seeing you, and I will get back on Elvis. Look around. Try and spot Arwen or Klari.
Make a perception check to try and spot Arwen or Klari.
I don't physically think. I have a 1 in perception.
Yeah, you've got no idea where they are, and neither does Neo.
Couldn't find any of them. And seeing them, not seeing them, I'm just gonna sort of say, no, I'm not gonna say it loudly because he's just gone. I'm just gonna go, come Neo, let us be off. I'm going to clippity-clop in the other direction, a little bit further away, and hope that they're watching on. Hope that Arwen. Sorry.
Can you roll a d4 for me?
1d4. Give it to me.
And Arwen, can you roll a d4 for me? 2. Okay, so both of you from your hidden positions, just jump back very slightly, watch this and can just about hear this conversation from where you are. Klari, you're slightly closer, you can hear it a little better. And you both get lucky that you've moved in slightly apart from each other to hide, and as Theron is dispatched into the forest, he kind of walks in and then sort of turns at a 45-degree angle and just sort of veers off in a random direction, walking sort of quite purposely for a little bit before he sort of the stamping in his stride sort of peters out, and he sort of crouches down a little bit and knocks an arrow to his bow again and starts, as Arwen you can recognise, seeming to try and track something. Presumably whatever thing he was sent to hunt. Fast forward a little bit. Stix, you and Neo finish your conversation with Ileana, and Carrick is also there. Very silent on that. And are able to mount up and head off in a different direction.
Just go back the way we just came from on the road.
You're going to head directly back. Okay.
Yeah. And I think we'll go till we can't see them anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and then just sort of stop by the side of the road and wait. Yeah.
Pretty much.
So you and Neo walk a few hundred yards through the trees. Arwen and Klari, just make another stealth check each to follow undetected.
Oh, no. Oh, yes. That's something.
Yeah, last one on the continue.
Okay. As you make your way through, an arrow thuds into the tree near you, Arwen. And you hear the same voice of Theron shout, "There's more of them!"
No.
What are you trying to do?
I'm running.
Okay, you just start running.
Duck and weave.
Duck and weave. So are you running or are you dodging?
Yes. I'm running.
So you're dashing.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of combat actions, you would be dashing instead of taking the dodge action.
Yeah.
So you double move, trying to get away.
Can I dash? I don't think I can dash.
Yeah,
Can
everyone can dash as an action, but it's your action
sure.
to dash. Okay, so you go double.
But like, in another direction, not the way that Klari is going.
Okay,
Because I don't want to get.
okay. Does 15 hit?
Yeah.
Okay, so even though you're running, you take 5 points of damage as an arrow
Oh, very rude.
hits you from behind.
Okay, I'm gonna shoot him back
Okay,
and say, "Stop it."
okay. So this is a little bit like a chase now. So you're about 120 feet away.
Okay.
We'll say, and so
Stop it.
you turn and on your turn you turn and shoot him. Yeah, that hits.
Stop it.
13 damage.
Yeah, stop it.
How was that rolled 13
Don't
damage?
know.
Damn.
8
rolled
plus 4
good.
plus 1. God damn, that's max damage.
Yeah. Are you going to move or
Is he
shoot
still
again?
running at me?
Still seems to be. He's like sort of staggers as he takes one of your arrows.
Stop it.
Yeah, that also hits. Jesus Christ.
Oh, double max damage.
He gets slammed with
Fire.
these
Stop it.
arrows.
No, I run.
And then you run.
Oh my god.
And yeah, he struggles back to his feet after getting slammed in the chest with these 2 arrows. And at disadvantage, you rolled a nat 20 and a 5. So again, you feel another arrow. You hear another arrow through the trees, and just like as it like snaps several branches off to the side bit. And then glancing back over your shoulder, you see another figure like just come up and like put a hand. You see the figure of Elyhalion just come up and put a hand on him and just like grab his like arm. It's just you can't hear what they're saying in this distance. But if you were watching, you could see him gesticulating in your direction. And she doesn't really seem bothered.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah, you stopped.
But you can make it back and meet up with your companions.
How exciting.
Well, we don't do people very good.
It's a good thing I didn't turn into a deer like I was going to.
The deer would have been faster.
Yes, but he would have... No, but like earlier, I was going to turn into a deer.
Oh, right.
He would have shot me.
Maybe.
No, he would have. I would have died. Well, I wouldn't, but...
You would have then turned back into you.
Deer win.
Deer win.
Dear win.
Okay, so the four of you meet back up. Arwen has an arrow in her posterior.
God, bitch, can I use it?
Make a... I'm going to say medicine check to draw it out without... You try and pull it out, and it hurts like a bitch to pull this thing out, but you do so, but as you do so, you realise that like the impact of it, like sort of hitting you, has like as you draw it out and you like sort of like tugging on it has exacerbated like a small crack in the shaft, and so you think if you used it, it would probably snap when it hit something before it did any damage to it, so it's not a usable arrow.
Fair enough.
But yeah, the four of you meet back up, a few hundred yards away, hidden by the large pine trees and things all around.
Well,
So that went well.
And hide.
that went really, really well, I think. People skills left to be desired. I think we can all agree, as the face, I'm not a very good face of the group when it comes to speaking with people. But I kind of figured Neo probably wasn't going to stealth this. And we can't just leave Neo out in the open. Be like, alright, Neo, good luck.
At this point, there's a slight sort of squelching noise as Neo like pulls his mask off his face and stows it away, and you see like his usual skin tone and his horns slowly sort of, like spiral back out of nothingness to appear.
How long does that last?
I will have to double check, but I believe can be indefinitely.
Excellent! And I have a plan.
Ooh. A plan. A man with a plan.
Do tell, Stix. Do tell.
Okay. This place is only for elves. Neo has purple skin. We put a big cloak over him and say he's a dark elf. So they can't see his ears, but they also can't see necessarily horns if we get a big enough cloak. And I mean, we would need a pretty huge one.
Easier to just wear them off.
Well, yeah, he'll wear the mask underneath, but like the woman said, so the woman basically just said that like certain elves that are really old can like see through this magic.
what if we go into the middle of the city and then some guy just goes, "Oi, he's not an elf." We all get screwed.
They weren't common, some foul, they weren't. They'd be like elders, not just casual.
Yeah, but still, like, you never know what's going to be in the middle of a city. Like,
It's true. Would he not look suspicious walking around with a massive cloak?
I would rather them come up to us and say, "Hi, what's with the big cloak?" rather than, "Hi, you're arrested."
But what about, hi, what's with the big cloak, you're arrested?
Well, that is a combination of the two, and I
Just make a
would
straight
say
intelligence check for me.
unfair.
Arwen, you can do this as well.
God.
Probably not.
Intelligence.
No, that's not me. That was Klari. That was Klari.
I'm a dum-dum.
I'm Smarty Pants.
Stix, you've never seen a dark elf within any of the elven cities you've visited.
Never mind. This is a terrible, terrible plan.
We don't know.
And while you know of their existence, you also remember that they're something about them being sensitive to sunlight and that they
Hence the
generally
massive.
live in caves and underground.
With the worm.
And they are not considered to be part of elven society.
Grr.
I would
Right.
assume that they are not considered that, given that none of them make up any part of any elven council or authority or population that you've ever seen.
Alright then. New plan. Right. We take the mask and wing it.
We take the mask and what?
We use the mask and wing it, or
Yeah.
we stay outside the city and we just get some of us to go in to the city and leave Neo outside.
Aww. Neo, are you willing to risk it for a chocolate biscuit?
What are we trying to achieve by going into the city at this point? What does that gain us?
Fun times,
Information.
adventures.
But what do we need from the city?
Good point, actually. We don't really need to go into the city. I think we were just going to the city because that was our first sort of port of call. No, we were going to go into the city to warn the authorities about this. No, that was the different city. Never mind.
Isn't it? Because this is the elves have the ruling term at the moment, and we thought they would have more information.
Yeah, but that's Themyscira, which is the capital city. So we don't necessarily need to bother ourselves with this one. Also, cities are like very overrated places. Cities, people, they just no, don't need them. I mean, does anyone need any supplies? How are people looking for gold? Maybe we could think about sort of trying to get some magical doohickeys and refill on supplies and stuff while we're there. But we don't necessarily have to sort of go there.
How far away are we from?
You'd estimate you'd make it there tomorrow.
Okay, so if we think we can make it there tomorrow, we could just go in and make a supply run if anyone needs like arrows and things like that, and then head off. Maybe someone could keep an ear out for if they know about any jobs or anything we could potentially do to help around the place. But we don't actually need to help around the place. We could just head. Like we're still.
Well, where are we heading after this?
After this, we're heading to Themyscira.
How far are we from the main city?
So, did you say every square was 2 days, JJ?
Approximately, yeah.
approximately. So if it's say a day to get there, I'm assuming like another day to sort of get into this square. So that's like 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, 6 days. I'm assuming going over a mountain or around a mountain would probably add something like a day.
So 2 days.
Hmm?
2 days plus 1.
Yeah. So,
Really kind
but
of-
we're like, so oh yeah. So that's say 2 days, 4, 6,
It's like
8, 11, 13.
Oh, yeah.
Because I added an extra day for going.
Based on the map, you could estimate it would take you around 10 days as the crow flies.
10 days for flies. We could do
between
that.
cities. So probably 11 from where you are at the moment.
Yeah. Alright, I guess
Okay.
stop in the city, pick up some supplies, and then head off,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah. Awesome. Alright. Keep on going then.
Okay.
Sounds excellent.
So you guys carry on through the woods. After a slight diversion, night does begin to set in. Would you like to push on further towards the city, or would you like to make camp?
I figure make camp probably is best.
Okay.
Don't want to push our luck or anything like that. How many spell slots do you have? All of them.
I've got all of them, and I'll get them back after the rest.
Yeah.
So I'm going to place 4 alarms around the camp. So like sort of 1 on each side.
Okay. I have
Okay,
a
so-
feeling alarm can cover an area as well as something like a doorway or a line or something like that, if I'm not mistaken.
20-foot cube.
Okay. So if you placed 4 alarms, you could cover a 40-foot cube.
80.
Well, because if you've got a 20-foot cube, and then a 20-foot cube, and then a 20-foot cube, and then a 20-foot cube, it makes 4 squares.
2, 4, 6, 8.
Yeah.
Yeah, but each side is then 40 long,
Oh, okay.
because of how maths works.
Yeah.
So yeah, you could place that, and you could cover a 40-foot by 40-foot area, if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Just in case any.
Takes a minute to do so. So Klari spends 4 minutes while you're setting up camp, using this silver thread to alarm these areas up. What type of alarm are you setting?
Keep
The noisy one.
The audible one?
The noisy one. The one that's like makes a sound when it's set off.
Yeah, the one that makes a sound to everyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm obviously setting it so that none of us will set it off.
Mm-hmm. Ping awakens you. Receiving an audible alarm produces the sound of a handbell for 60 seconds within 60 feet. Okay. Are you setting watches?
Yeah, I think it's worth.
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay. Who's going first?
I don't mind going first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me and a d12.
Oh, no, it's fine. D12, D12, D12. 11.
Okay. And you settle yourself down and build your campfire. Everyone has chat for slowly, one by one, everyone turns in and Arwen takes her watch. The sky has darkened around you now, and as you sit there, you hear the forest come alive around you as the night creatures start moving off in the distance. The hoot of an owl, the scurry of small creatures. That is indeed the noise an owl makes. 10 out of 10 owl impression.
Ooh.
That's more of a pigeon noise.
Oh yeah.
And you watch several hours pass by as nothing more disturbs the area around your camp.
Yay!
Who's next?
I will happily go next.
Okay.
Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Perception check and a d12.
Perception check. G12. Come on. It's so slow! Wi-Fi. It could not be close.
It's rolled twice.
Take the first one.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. I said that before looking at it.
Well, I was going to anyway, so that's fine.
That's fair.
So, Stix, you're sitting there watching the surroundings, and the leaves are rustling in the trees. There's a little bit of a wind picks up, and you get a little bit cold. You sort of huddle there with your bedroll wrapped around you. The flames of the fire start sort of flickering and snapping. And as you huddle closer to the fire to keep off the wind chill, you get a little bit lost in the flames, and it's not until much later that you realise the fire's burned down a little bit, and it's now more embers, and you sort of shake yourself and you realise slightly longer than you would normally have watched has passed. But either you or someone else needs to grab a little bit more firewood to keep it going through the night.
I got it. Elvis, watch the camp. Make noise if you see anything.
He's gonna see a leaf fall and he's gonna go,
Considering he's made of leaves, I think you're right.
He's gonna see a leaf in front of his face.
Yeah, watch the camp. I'll be back with wood. And I'm going to also say this to Klari. Sorry. Klari, as I walk past. She's probably still asleep, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm off to get some wood. No, that's not a euphemism.
Okay. As Stix heads off to find some wood, Clary, are you taking the next watch?
Yeah.
Okay, so Clary, you wake up and kind of gauge that a little bit more time you think has passed than should have, and looking around, you can't see any sign of Stix.
Did I hear him when he said he was getting wood? Or
No, you were asleep at this point, and he's been gone a few minutes trying to find enough firewood. So you just wake up and realise that Stix is not there. Nothing has triggered your alarms, but Stix is not in the immediate vicinity of the the fire. The embers it's burned down, so it's more sort of embers and coals producing heat than flames producing a lot of light at this stage.
Okay. Probably gonna assume that he's okay for now and wait for him to come back.
Okay. Roll a perception check and a d12 for me.
Despite everything I know about this man, I'm going to assume he's okay.
Sorry, what was it?
And a
And
d12. And 8. Okay. Stix. Roll a survival check for me.
Alright.
Stix gets attacked by a purple worm.
I actually swear to God. Oh my God, I've got expertise in this.
Okay. So it takes you about half an hour, Stix. But you do find sort of a few large enough sticks that you can carry them in your arms. And so you feel like you're not going to have to make a ton of trips back and forth for extra firewood. But yes, you find enough and eventually do make it back. As you're walking back, there is a little, walking through towards this very distant, small glow in the distance. You just hear sort of, and a bat flies very close overhead in the trees. But you make it back. You deposit the extra firewood, placing some down on the fire and gently encouraging it, and it catches, and you feel the heat and the light flare up again.
Ooh.
Gently encouraging it. I just imagine going, go, 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 go.
Alright, my job is done. Nighty night. Folks. I shall once again curl up to Elvis. Go, good boy. You watched the area well. I think. I don't really know. I'm going to assume he did.
Yeah. And Klari, your watch passes. Nothing. You don't spot anything other than the usual jungle sounds and forest sounds and the sound of Stix appearing.
Jungle sound.
You trade off with Neo. He takes his watch. He rolls a 3, so he also sees nothing. But you guys can all take a long rest and awaken in the morning.
Glad we woke up in the morning. That's always positive. No purple worms got us in the night.
Not this night.
Oh no.
Not any other night. Because they got us in the morning.
Indeed. Can everyone make a survival check for me this morning before you set off? Does Neo have any survival skills? He does not.
No.
Alright. Back and ready.
What was the perception?
So I've got a 19 from Arwen. Neo rolled a 5 total. Klari with an 11 total. And Stix with a 13 total.
He was.
Holding up this group today.
And doing it so modestly as well.
Absolutely.
So your journey towards the city is a little bit more difficult. And elven cities are fairly well disguised, as you know. They are often And rather than being sort of densely packed metropolises, they are these sort of sprawling areas where houses and shops and buildings have been fashioned in one with nature, to almost be one with the forest and not impact the environment in any way. They don't have things like paved streets. The houses are all grown from wood. There are in dwellings and things like that. And when you were similar to when you were in Ithomel, the houses you saw there were the manor of Lady Verona. There was made. All the large timbers were made from living trees, grown out in such a way to support beams and columns and things to make up a house. So they are tricky to find. They don't stand out in the distance. And you get a little bit wayward in your journeys, and you find yourself sort of struggling through difficult patches of land with sort of brambles and patches of boggy terrain that you end up avoiding, and so you end up slightly off course, you think. And the majority of this forest is built up from evergreen trees, these huge sentinel pines. However, there are a number of deciduous trees scattered around, particularly up on the edges where you are still nearly located. And as you're walking through, you step out through a patch of relatively thick brush. Those of you walking on the ground are sort of struggling with cloaks and brambles almost snagging at clothing. And as you step out into this clearing, you can see a very, very large tree, very large deciduous tree, and it is covered in this bright, vibrant red blossom.
Ooh.
The other thing you notice is that there are these huge clumps in the branches, and indeed in some places these clumps have multiple branches growing through them. They look almost like a papery mass, a sort of grey-green in the light at the moment. But there are many of them supported throughout this tree. Each one varies from the size of a football, maybe hanging from a single branch, to something more in line with the size of a car, being supported with several branches running through it. And a couple of them you can see have dripped this very bright red sap-like substance. Seems to sort of be leaking out of the bottom. You can see it sort of splashed on lower branches, or in a couple of places pooled on the ground.
Can I go over and have a look at this, like these splotches and stuff? See if I can figure out what this stuff is?
Yeah. As you walk across the clearing, a soft buzzing starts to reach your ears as you get closer to the tree.
Ooh.
Would you like to proceed?
Perception. Shit. How does that sound?
So you don't pick up on much. You can indeed identify the source of this buzzing. Seems to be these various, what you could probably assume now are nests located.
You know what? What are the nests like? Are they big?
Yeah, they vary in size, but the largest ones, which do seem to be the source of this dripping sap, are approximately the size of a small car, supported through. They have sort of 2 or 3 branches running through them that seem to support, whereas the smaller ones seem to hang like a traditional wasp's nest below a branch. It seems over time they grow so massive that they actually consume the branch around the branch itself and extend to other branches to support the weight of such a structure.
Jeez. Yeah, I will leave it then, because I'm sort of thinking that this is a bit like bees and stuff, where this isn't this stuff, this sap, this whatever it is. It's probably like what they make in their little nests, and I wish not to tamper with the nature of nature. And also, if they're that big a nest, I'm assuming there's something very big inside there, and I don't want to fuck with that.
I'd like to walk up to Stix and say, I'll give you 10 gold if you lick it.
Oh. Okay, I'm gonna do something. If I get more than 10, more than 12. Oh no, I've got a thing in these. If I get more than 12, I will not lick it. I will not lick it.
You can investigate it if you like. Anyone can do that. You can investigate it, or you can. You can roll investigation or medicine.
Oh, medicine. I'm proficient in medicine. I can medicine. I can indeed medicine. Like a pro. Well, a semi-decent person.
Okay. Arwen or Klari, you can investigate the area independently if you wish. So, for your medicine check, Stix, you...
Oh, that's 6.
Oh no!
So for your medicine check, Stix, you maybe run like a knife blade or something through this and sort of scoop a little bit up and maybe smell it. And it smells very sweet to you. Almost exactly like honey. But tinted red. And a little bit of your training comes back sort of from the distant corners of your mind. You pull on this information that there are indeed some types of wasp that feed on the fruit from these very rare trees that produce this startling red blossom, and you assume that these are one of them. And the fruit, and in particular almost like the fermentation of the way these wasps consume and produce this honey, or these bees, probably be more apt, consume and produce this honey, makes it more potent. The berries themselves are quite nourishing and can keep you on your feet more than a regular berry would. If you were hungry, they would potentially sort of fill you more than a regular berry would. However, the honey produced by these bees can not only sustain you but also heal you.
Oh.
Eat it, lick it.
Yeah, now I'm gonna lick it.
Okay. It tastes very sweet. There is a slight fruity tang to it that isn't normally there with regular honey, but other than that, you don't, just from just licking a small amount, you don't feel any additional effects.
Can I put some in my water box cup?
You want to try to collect some?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll tackle that in 1 minute. I will just go to Clary's investigation check. So, Clary, you sort of walk around, and indeed the buzzing is quite loud in places, particularly where you get close to these nests. And one of them has grown so large, possibly you ascertain the original first nest, that the branch it is on has bent over, and it is resting very gently on the ground. And the bottom portion of this nest is saturated, it seems, with this honey. You can see it's almost damp. There's like a dark red stain like coming through the papery coating on the outside. You also pick up on that there is a large amount of footprints and activity surrounding this portion. And you can see that there has been a lot of foot traffic in this area, and tracing it back, you discover a small, almost like bolt hole entrance, maybe only 18 inches or 2 foot wide. This circular hole dug underneath the roots, or into the roots underneath this tree.
There'd be roots. Oh! 18... Was it 18 inches or 18 centimetres? Sorry.
About 18 inches or 2 feet wide. So
2 feet wide.
Massive, but it's possible for a medium creature to squeeze their way in.
So not gargantuan.
No.
No.
Maybe it's a baby one.
Maybe? I'm not sure I want to... Not entirely sure I want to test that. Can I just sort of go up to the, or near the hole and just be like, hello, 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 hello.
Yeah. Okay, we'll come to that in a moment. Arwen, you wanted to try and collect some.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, make a medicine check again to try and collect some of these spilled.
No.
So in trying to collect some of this directly off the ground where it is sort of leaked, you start kind of scraping it up and realise that you're collecting a lot of dirt and leaves and things in and amongst it. Where it's landed on the ground, it's quite sticky, and so all this stuff is like stuck to it. And as you're sort of trying to scrape it up, you're just mixing it all together. And you don't think collecting anything from the ground is going to give you a viable source of any of this. There are still the nests, however.
Is it runny honey?
Yeah. It's like a syrupy liquid.
Oh, no, it's so terrible. Can I shoot it?
You want to shoot one of the nests?
Oh dear
Like a
God.
small one, just a really tiny one. Just a really small one.
If you want to shoot it, make an attack roll.
No. I want to climb the tree
Okay.
and stab it. That's worse. Oh no.
Mind you, it is the larger nests that seem to have this concentration at the bottom of them.
Can I climb and get that? Scrape that up.
Yeah.
I'd like to do that.
Okay. Make an athletics check. While she's doing that, Stix, you shout down into this hole, and it echoes a little bit, but other than that, you don't hear any sound returning. And indeed, looking down into this hole, you can see that it opens out quite quickly into a small, hollowed out little room underneath the tree. And you can make out a largish wooden door carved off to one side with this contraption on one side of it that you can't quite make out from outside the hole.
Okay.
Can we fit in the hole?
Sure. We said that we...
If you tried to squeeze down, you would be able to squeeze down into this little chamber.
Okay, could I cast... I think I have torches. Oh, no, I don't. Oh, I don't really want to do that. We're right next to like a big tree. I'm just gonna climb down. Fuck it. Only live once.
Yeah, so you wriggle down into this hole and you find yourselves underneath the tree. Looking up, you can see the roots sort of spreading off, and you can see several places where the roots themselves have been, or these large roots seem to have been cut off. You can see like the stumps of them to make the space for this chamber underneath the tree. Arwen, you successfully climb the tree and get up to one of these nests that's supported by 3 big branches reaching out, going through it. And you can see like off on the other side there, where the branches are split, lots of smaller tendrils coming out. But shimmying down a branch slightly lower, you get to the bottom of this nest, where it looks to be slightly damp with this reddish colour.
I would like to collect it.
It is dripping very slowly. You'd think if you were going to try and fill any sort of vessel from this, it would take you a number of hours for it to slowly...
I will hold it to collect it,
Mm-hmm.
but also scrape the stuff that's underneath it and shove it in.
The stuff underneath has fallen onto the ground.
Oh, for God's sake.
Which,
I
as
thought
you
it went onto another stick, leaf, tree.
you would encounter the similar problem where it's on the bark itself, and it's not like deep enough for you to like scrape the top layer off. It's just like splashed around, so you're sort of, as you scrape, you're scraping wood chips and things like that from the bark into it if you were to try that.
What if I poked a tiny little hole? Just got a tiny little bit, like just a tiny little bit.
Roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh, we're gonna be attacked by a big group of giant wasps. Or something along those lines.
13. Okay.
Tiny.
I don't know.
Take your dagger out and you poke it into the side, and as you press it in, it starts flowing quite well, and you are able to collect a sizable amount of this red honey, and it flows into your water skin. But as you do so, the skin is getting heavier in your hand.
No, I
And
don't drop it, do I?
your grip on the branch is more tenuous, trying to balance with one hand holding the knife in the nest and the other hand holding this skin. You're trying to just balance on your feet, and you just wobble very slightly, and the knife in your hand wiggles, and all of a sudden you cut
Shit.
a much larger hole than you were intending. Only sort of a few inches or so, but there is this wet tearing sound, and it starts gushing over your hands, and your skin, your water or your wineskin is filled very quickly now. But out of this hole crawls and you hear the buzzing increase, and several very large, almost the size of a hummingbird size bees start buzzing, and the intensity within the nest itself, this sort of buzzing, becomes quite intense, and there's an angry.
Shit.
What are you doing?
Is my thing filled now? Is
Yeah,
it filled?
yeah, no, you definitely managed to fill it.
Okay, I'm
it's
closing it and dropping.
You're just going to drop to the
Yeah.
ground.
And then I'll lick the honey off the floor to heal myself.
Okay, roll a dexterity saving throw for me. And so you drop to the floor.
Oh.
Break all
Fuck.
of the bones.
So you don't drop, you go to sort of step off, and your foot kind of like both sticks and slips in this patch of honey that you're standing on, and instead of this sort of graceful step and drop, it's this comical as your foot goes out from under you and you fall very hard on your side. You take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
6.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
You fell about 20 feet. So
Okay, I fall into the honey and then just lick it.
you're just
Off
licking the
floor.
ground.
Yep.
Make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. You are not poisoned by eating dirt. But as you sort of lick this, you realise you have essentially just licked sticky dirt now.
Okay, can I like dip my finger in my little bit of honey and then eat that?
It tastes sweet, but you haven't consumed enough.
For God's sake, how much do I... Okay, it's still dripping.
You're gonna... Okay. I mean, you're trying to drink something that's dripping out... That's dripping out of something that's 20 feet above you.
Yeah.
So you've got a liquid that's denser than water falling 20 feet and smacking you in the face.
Yes. It'll heal me at a better rate than it will hurt me.
I'm not so sure that it will.
It will.
Given that you've got to essentially consume this in a volume similar to a potion.
Yep.
Okay. So roll. So the time it would take you to heal anything from this, I'll say you can roll 2d4 plus 2 for the healing. So you heal back to full health. However, the time it takes you to do this, a large quantity of angry bees have made their way down towards you and are swarming in an aggressive manner. Those of you underground, make a perception check for me.
Oh shit! That's Klari. Where's the old perception? Oh, finally, this is possible perception.
Klari, have you dropped Stix?
No, Clary's actually underground. She's just
Okay,
mocked it.
so Klari, so Stix, you hear this as well, but Klari, you would also hear and probably just see Arwen climb the tree and these events unfolding as they do. You would see her slip a little bit and open up the hole in the bottom of this nest, accidentally larger than she intends. And the impending swarm of bees, these bees are indeed large, almost the size of a hummingbird, and they start to swarm angrily as Arwen plummets to the ground with this heavy thud as she impacts the earth, and then sort of stands up, tries licking the ground, realizes that's a mistake, and then just opens her mouth under and then you, this is not a delicate process, you are excuse me, spattered almost head to foot in sticky red honey.
I'm saving it for later.
But yes, Klari, what are you, as you can see, these bees start to almost spiral towards the ground towards Arwen.
How many bees do you say there were?
Well, Arwen, for one of the intelligence, maybe sort of a meter cubed, meter and a half, and so there is a significant number starting to swarm. Yeah, several hundred potentially of bees.
That's a lot of bees.
That's a lot of bees.
Okay.
Is this like real stuff?
It's fine. They shouldn't be able to fly.
So they can.
Shit.
Maybe sleep.
Yeah.
How do you fight hundreds of them?
You throw fire at them.
Cast mirror image multiple times until there's hundreds of Klari. How close is Arwen to the bees?
I would say within about 6 seconds of being swarmed. So you have essentially an action or a turn to do something.
Both of us or just Clary?
I'll say both of you, but
Clary first.
yeah. Actually, no, you're still drinking honey at this point. So you're there and it's like, ah. So you probably can't see because you've got your eyes shut to stop them being filled with sticky honey.
I think I would be... No, because I knew the bees were coming when I was up there. So it was... So
But
I'm
you've made the
aware.
decision to commit to drinking enough honey to heal yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, you don't have an action though because you're committed to drinking honey.
But I have an action next time.
Potentially. But Clary, what are you doing?
Stunned to death.
Yeah, you're stung to death by 100 bees.
Can I throw a firebolt just into the middle of this swarm of bees?
Yeah.
Oh my, what if the honey is explosive and you end up just making like a grenade?
Yeah. Okay. Roll firebolt. 11. Unfortunately, an 11 does just miss. And you conjure this, but sort of almost in your haste to take a few steps to the side to get it within line of sight and maybe avoid hitting the nest directly, you throw it out and you do catch a couple of them like on the side and you see these like singed insect bodies fall to the floor. But you don't feel like you've done enough to really impact the swarm as a whole.
And you just hear Stix go, "Hey, can someone hear a buzzing?"
How far is Clary from this swarm of bees?
Probably around 15 or 20 feet as they're starting to gather around Arwen. Clary, you are much closer to the hole than Arwen is as well. Much closer to being able to get to the hole underground because you initially found it.
I'm gonna stay there then, for now.
Okay. I think at that point then we shall roll some initiative.
Am I rolling initiative? Or am I just...
You can roll initiative as well, however you are, underground.
Cool. I'm in a hole.
You are with your perception check. You are aware of what's going on. You will have picked up on the shouts, the thuds, and the increase in the buzzing.
See. Interesting. Okay. Who's first? Oh shit, Arwen. Arwen is most likely first.
Clary, Stix. Okay. Arwen, you're indeed up first.
Druidcraft. Rain.
Druidcraft Rain.
You can't fly in the
You
rain.
create a tiny harmless sensory effect that predicts the weather that will be in your location for the next 24 hours. The effect manifests as a golden orb for clear skies, a cloud for rain,
Oh
falling
no!
snowflakes for snowstorm.
Read it wrong.
Yeah, you can't
Rain.
create rain,
Rain. Rain. Rain.
unfortunately.
God damn it.
Yeah, control weather is an
Rain.
8th level spell.
Lots of water fall from the sky, please. do this, I guess.
Okay. And that is...
Okay, so Scorching Ray says you throw fire at 3 targets.
Mm-hmm.
Is a single bee a target?
No, the swarm is a target.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay, make 3 attack rolls.
That would be a very accurate ray.
Where is it? That one.
19 hits.
What a great day.
7 damage. 9 misses, unfortunately. 23 hits. Can you use your Colossus Slayer on a spell attack?
Can't remember. Don't think I can. Don't know why I did that. Where is it? Don't think I can.
Keep going, it'd be under your Hunter archetype. With a weapon attack. No, so you can't use it on a spell attack. So that's just 16 damage. So you conjure these 3 beams of fire and sort of pew, 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 targeting different spots in the swarm. One of them, all 3 pass through the swarm, however the second one just seems to catch the edge and just doesn't really seem like it has a significant effect on the swarm itself. But yeah, you watch a large number of these bees shrivel and burn and smoke as they fall and sort of as these bodies hit the ground with reasonably sizable thuds. Is that everything on your turn?
Yeah.
Okay, Klari, what would you like to do?
Gonna throw another firebolt. We'll try.
23 definitely hits. 14 fire damage. Okay, so you throw this fire bolt at the remnants of the swarm, and it, as they're coming down, it like splashes against a branch and sort of bursts open, scattering fire over the remaining. And the bees that are left from this initial swarm are so depleted that they almost have no substance of threat. And the swarm, although there are a few left, the threat of the swarm itself has gone.
Okay. Looks like they didn't even need me. That's fine.
Is there anything else you'd like to do, Klari?
No, I think that's it.
Okay. Stix.
Stix is going to investigate the little bit he's down in.
Okay. Roll investigation for me.
I am sure they have got this under control. Investigation. L12.
So you look around and you discover you're in quite a small room. It surprisingly, for a patch dug out under the ground, seems to have a stone floor, as well as the wooden doorway seems quite well built, and has a curved stone lintel which you can actually see glyph work inscribed on. And to one side of the door there is a pedestal with a bowl filled with brightly coloured marbles. And on the other side of the door there are 6 slots in the frame, each one a hole about the size of a marble.
6 one hole the size of a marble.
Yeah, let me just check. I believe it's 6. I just have to exactly check. anything else. I really need to organise these better so I know things are in this folder. But yeah, we'll say 6 for now and I will correct it if I am wrong. Aha, found it. Yes, so also inside the bowl, the marbles are coloured red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, brown, black, and white.
Okay.
So there are many different colours of marble.
Can I take one?
Yeah. Yeah, also it was the investigation is your action, but as a bonus action you can pick up a handful of marbles. As you take a handful, you get a variety, but nothing else happens.
Okay. Interesting.
Anything else on your turn you'd like to do?
There's nothing else down here, is there?
No.
Then I'll just start making my way for the ladder and be like, okay, well, this has certainly been interesting.
Yeah, there's no ladder at the moment, but you're.
Well, yeah, no, not ladder. The hole I came down.
The hole is only sort of a couple or so, maybe sort of 3 feet. You are a little bit stooped in this room. The hole is about maybe 2/3 of the way up or something like that. So you've got sort of 3 foot drop down and maybe sort of 1.5 foot above the hole. So you've got just enough room to stand, maybe with your head bowed a little bit.
Okay, I'll exit the room then.
Okay.
Climb my way back up if I can.
Okay, yeah, we'll say with your movement you can, a few feet to get to the bowl and pick up a handful and get back again. You can just about make it out and you'll be outside at the beginning of your next turn. There's nothing for Neo to do. He will move, let's say, towards you, Stix, and towards the hole, so the two of you are together. And then on the bees' turn,
The bees.
see more of them start emanating from these nests, and 4 swarms develop in various places and start making their way down. They can't move very quickly, but one of them from the nest that was actually touching the ground closest to the hole, a swarm does emanate, and they will make an attack. A 15 to hit you, Stix?
Yes, that would hit me now. I don't have my shield up.
Okay, so all these little creatures, these bees, start swarming around you and buzzing around, and they sort of start obscuring your vision as you go sort of back them away. They start stinging at your arms and your legs and your hands and everything. You take 7 7 piercing damage from it.
7.
So start boosting.
Ow. Pieces
That is
of...
what they do on their turn. There are now 4 swarms active.
Shit. Okay.
And we will go back to Arwen.
How tall is Klari?
Klari? Don't know. How tall are you, Klari?
Go to bio. No, you did not put a height.
You can just choose a height now if you'd like. It doesn't have to be like set in stone. You can say sort of around 5.5 feet or around,
Yeah, I think around 5'6", so 5.5 feet.
So, slightly above average height, maybe? Why? What would you like to do, Arwen?
I don't think I am going to. There's no point. No, no, I'll save it. I'll do it later.
Okay.
If it all gets bad, I'll scorch them again.
Okay, you cast Scorching Ray.
Can I Hunter's Mark them?
You can't,
No, it doesn't,
because
that's weapon.
it's a bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark, and you would therefore not be able to also cast Scorching Ray.
Why is it a boat? What?
You can't cast two leveled
two
spells in a single turn. So you could Hunter's Mark a single swarm, unless there's something about it in Hunter's Mark, but I believe not. I believe it's fine. Yeah. Are you targeting all these at the same swarm? Or a different one?
The swarm that I hit first.
That one has been destroyed by Klari.
Oh, okay, yep, just the random ones.
Are you targeting them all at the same one or different one? There is currently 3 in the air making their way down, and 1 is surrounded Neo and Stix.
Oh, hold on. I don't want to hurt Neo or Stix, because that could be bad. Ooh, I can cast it higher, and I can get another whole... Oh, whoops, wrong way.
Have you cast it at 3rd level? Have you got a 3rd level spell slot?
Yeah.
Yeah, then yes, you can
But
cast it at 3rd level.
It's... No, because it won't hit them if I target just the swarm. Will it?
The swarm is currently occupying the same space as they are.
Sorry, I don't want to burn you, so I'm not going to risk it.
Burn me. Do it. Be the person you are meant to be. I don't know. Fuck it.
I'll do one at every one of them.
They're
We
all-
got-
Okay, so you can do 1 at each swarm, and you can cast it at 3rd level.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
I think it's...
So you've rolled 1.
Yeah.
18 hits. Thirteen hits. That's a crit.
Oh, nice.
One of those went to Neo and Stix.
Okay.
But not at Neo and Stix, obviously.
No.
The swarm.
No, that's fine.
Yeah, do I have to...
Roll a d8 for me, we'll see. It'll be a little bit interesting to see what happens against a swarm, but...
3.
So you've rolled a 3.
Mm-hmm.
So as you blast this swarm, there's almost like a little detonation from it mid-air, and this swarm is sort of the power of this Scorching Ray that punches through, sort of scatters the swarm and dissipates. And normally you'd push them back 10 feet, but I'm going to say that the swarm dissipates and it's going to lose it's going to stay in the same place, but it's going to lose 10 feet of movement as it regathers. Anything else on your turn? Still got bonus action and move. You're about 25 feet away from the hole.
I might go a bit closer to everyone else.
Yeah, so you're going to move full distance towards, or only part way? Okay, so you move 25 feet towards Neo and Stix on the cusp of the hole. Okay.
Cool.
Klari.
Are there still bees left?
Yes, there are still 4 swarms gathering. One of them two of them have been significantly reduced in size by Arwen's Scorching Rays.
Oh boy. First campaign I ever played in, the sorcerer of the group had Scorching Rays, and he said it was just blokes called Ray made a fire that would run people. He's my good pal Ray. Come on, give a piece of his mind.
Are all these bees still going for Arwen?
They are all heading. There is one swarm gathered around Neo and Stix, and Arwen is now run over towards that swarm, and then there are 3 slowly descending. One of those in the air has been slightly dissipated, so it's more spread out and is going to lose some of its movement reforming. And 2 of the swarms, the one around Stix and Neo, and one of the others in the air, had so many bees killed in it that the swarm is now half the size.
We'll attack the one that's closest to Stix and Neo.
Okay. All to hit.
With fire.
Fire.
Fire and death.
15 hits.
Nice.
12 damage. Yeah, so you cast this fireball and it like streaks between Neo and Stix and leaves this like charred burn mark on the side of the tree. But as you do so, these flames like spread out and the swarm is consumed again by fire. And there's a couple of bees left, but they seem to have been deterred by this onslaught of fire and dissipate off.
Okay. That's all I'm going to do for now.
Okay, you've still got your movement and your bonus action if you want to do anything.
No, I'm going to stay where I am.
Okay. You'll just do a few feet away from this hole where Stix has disappeared into and re-emerged from. Stix, it's now your turn. You have
It is indeed my turn, and with
full
that,
swarms and a half swarm.
2 full swarms and a half swarm. And with that, would you say any of these swarms are very close to each other?
I'd say yeah, probably the one that has been scattered and the like half swarm are sort of coming from similar points.
Cool. I'm going to moonbeam them both. Moonbeam 10-foot radius thing on them. No,
So
5 foot
it has a
radius.
height to it, doesn't it, Moonbeam?
A 40 feet high. Yes,
10
so
feet wide.
5 foot radius, 40 foot high cylinder,
Mhm.
centered in range. So on their turn, they will have to make a con save. Will take 2d10 radiant damage.
Okay.
And I will move a little closer to Arwen and Klari, and just the group out of this hole,
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Hey guys, I found some magic beans." I didn't really. It was just a bunch of colourful stones.
Mm-hmm. You guys are all pretty well clustered up now. Anything else? Is that everything?
I think that'll be everything.
Okay. Neo will... What will he do? What's he got for spells? Other than just... No, he will just take a couple of... That's a natural 1. And that's a 2. So Neo sort of tries to like swipe at one of these swarms that's coming down, but it's just pretty sort of ineffectual. This glaive just sort of passing through the group. And even though you can see there are sort of chunks of bee hitting the ground, it doesn't seem to be doing enough to like significantly diminish the size of the swarm.
Darn. He's got.
Are the bees' turn. So 2 of them need to make Constitution saving throws.
Rose.
And that is cocked. There's a 13
Does not pass.
and an 18.
Does pass.
Okay.
So that is 2d10 radiant damage.
Okay, so one of them takes 13 and the other one takes 6. And that one is... Okay, so you see the swarm that was reduced, the half swarm has been reduced significantly, and the swarm that was slightly dissipated and is now clumping back up together also gets reduced in size as a lot of these bees start sort of dropping to the ground underneath these ghostly white light. 2 of them will make it to the ground. We can make an attack against Klari. Is a 17 to hit you, Klari.
Yeah, that hits.
You take 8 piercing damage. And an 11 to hit you, Arwen.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Although they sort of buzz around you, you manage to sort of like bat them off, so none of them... You take a couple of stings, but they don't hurt enough to significantly wound you. And we go back to you, Arwen.
How many swarms left, sorry?
There are 2 half swarms and a whole swarm.
2 halves and a whole. Okay. I'm gonna do the pew pew again.
Scorching Ray?
Yeah.
Okay.
4. 1 at the half, 1 at the other half, and then 2 at the full.
Okay, well, roll your hits and we'll see where you end up. Yeah, 20 definitely hits. Yeah, that's a half. That's one of the first half swarm dice. 18 hits. Second half swarm dies. 12 just hits. Yeah, it's still a whole swarm. 12 just hits. The swarm is reduced in size, but there are still a few bees buzzing around you.
Fuck off, bees.
What would you like to do?
I'm done.
Okay, Klari. There is 1 half swarm remaining.
I shall attack it with fire.
Go for
Kill
it.
it. Kill it with fire.
22 definitely hits. 6 damage. This swarm is also destroyed. And with that, the angry, intense buzzing sort of dissipates, and the last few bees remaining drift off and away. They seem to be deterred, you sense, by the burning of the
other bees.
Yes, and they retreat back into the few remaining ones. Retreat back in, and the humming in the hives reduces in pitch slightly. It's not the fervent intensity that it was when they were swarming to attack, but you get the sense that there are still a large quantity of bees remaining inside the hives, but they are remaining there for now.
Lovely.
Sorry guys, but I got Healy honey.
Healy honey.
Also, you can put your head under that honey and you can heal yourself.
Not entirely sure I want to.
Oh, it's great fun.
Yeah, Arwen at this point is like spattered in red. Like this is and now it's like starting to like cool down on you, and you're starting to, like, every time you move, it's like sticky and.
I'm nice and
Well,
healthy.
You know what? Screw it. Yeah, I'm a try sticking my head under getting some of this nice honey stuff.
Is there a river nearby? Oh god, there's not.
Okay. I mean, yeah, so Stix, you attempt to stick your face underneath, and similarly, you can remain there trying to catch enough of this in your mouth to roll for a basic healing potion. But because it is falling in sort of quite a thick stream from about 20 foot up, so yeah, you heal for 6 points, 2d4 plus 2.
Hey.
But you do similarly end up, like, you know, a lot of it like sort of misses, and it's like drifting a little bit in the breeze, and so it does end up sort of like all over your face and things.
Don't really love it. It's kind of gross. It's really sticky, and it's gotten fucking everywhere.
Yeah, it's like you can feel like a little bit like drifting down your neck underneath the collar of your armor, and
Well, I'll just put it under the big list of things I wish I'd never done and call it a day. Shall we move on? Unless anyone would like to do anything else in and around here, but I don't know about you guys, but I'm personally good. Although, no, there was like a load of magic, like stones underneath the ground, and I took one. What did it do?
like holding it up, it just looks like a coloured glass marble in your hand at the moment.
What happens if I chuck it?
If you chuck it,
Chuck it at the tree.
roll a strength check for me. Just straight strength.
Just straight strength.
It
Fucking
shatters.
booyah.
You chuck it at the tree, and just this small glass ball just shatters into 1,000 pieces.
Well, you got a real way of making people sad, JJ. I miss my coloured rock already.
There is a big bowl of them.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get more.
Can
They look cool.
I make a nature check to see if there's any water nearby?
That would be more of a survival
That's
thing.
fine with me. Shit. +5.
For 6.
Huh?
For 6.
No, I +5 again.
For why? I mean,
When
I'm not saying you're a liar, I'm just
Make
saying.
an intelligence or wisdom check related to your favourite terrain. Your proficiency bonus is doubled if you are using a skill that you're proficient in. And I
Okay.
am proficient.
Survival.
For sure.
Survival.
So you're right, okay. It is an 11.
Hell yeah.
It is also still a 1, which while doesn't technically.
But an 11.
Yes, it is. You would assume that there would be some water nearby, as there are generally sort of little streams and things scattered throughout forests like this that animals drink from. You don't know where any of them are, however, because you didn't cross any on your way here this morning. You could potentially backtrack and find a little stream or like pond or something that you passed the previous day if you wanted, or you'd have to press on.
Oh, so we're not outside the city.
No, you
Oh,
guys, you
okay, I
guys
thought
are,
we were,
you
like,
guys, because of your
15
survival rolls, have gone a little bit off track,
Oh,
which has led you to where you are now.
okay, fair enough. I thought we were about to wander into the city looking like we've murdered everyone
No,
with all this red
not yet.
on us. Okay, that's fine.
That is something I didn't think about. The fact that we kind of look like murderers.
I'm not saying
Yeah,
we're not, but
yeah. The two of you do look like you're slightly bathed in blood. I mean, a close inspection would reveal it not to be the case. However, on first glance, two of you are drenched in a sticky red liquid.
But if we're trying to
Smell me.
lay low, it's probably not great that we look like
No,
this.
it's not great that people would go, ah, when they saw you.
I mean, they're going to do that anyway. But...
They gonna do that anyway, honey. I'm gorgeous.
Okay.
What would you guys like to do?
Well, I want to grab a bunch more of these colourful stones.
Okay.
I would like to ask if anyone else wants to come down here and see if they see anything that I haven't. Then go for it. Otherwise, I think we should get moving.
Yeah. So underneath there is a stone floor, which is covered in a large amount of dirt and things like that. There is this very well-built looking wooden door with a stone frame around it. There are glyphs carved in the top of the frame, or carved into the stone at the top of the frame. On one side of the door, set into the frame, are 6 holes, each about the size of one of these marbles. And then there is a pedestal full of these coloured marbles.
Put a marble in the hole.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'll put the marble. There doesn't seem to be any sort of allocation to these. It's just sort of put them randomly in the holes.
Chuck 'em in.
You
Throw
rolled
them and see what sticks.
I rolled a 12.
You rolled a 12, didn't you, Stix?
I did.
So yes, you haven't spotted anything that would indicate, but as you put, what colour marble are you putting in which hole?
I'm going to put a blue marble into the farmost left hole.
They are arranged vertically.
Then I will put a blue marble into the middle hole.
There are 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 6 holes.
Into the bottom hole.
Okay, you put a blue marble in the last hole.
Yes.
A soft white light lights up, sort of illuminating the blueness of the marble.
Then can I take this out and put a white one in the hole?
Yeah. As you take it out and you put a white one in the hole. So as you take it out, the light dims. As you put a white one in, the white light shines again, shining through.
Can I then put a red one in the top hole?
Yeah, you put a red one in the top hole. This white light shines up behind and illuminates the red of the marble.
Was that white light again, did you say?
Yes,
Oh,
the white light again.
shit. Okay. Bunch of marbles, lots of different coloured holes. Well, lots of different holes that... Oh god, so many holes.
Are there?
The colours, to remind you, there are red, orange, yellow.
Red,
Red, orange, yellow.
orange. No, that's not orange, that's ugly. Orange.
Green, blue, purple, brown, black,
Christ,
white.
Yellow. Green. Blue.
Green, blue, purple,
Brown, black, white.
brown, black, white. Okay, so if we take and there's 6 holes. If we take the primary colours, that's red, yellow, and blue. Then take the ones that make them. No. Oh. Okay. I've an idea. I'm going to put the red one in the top one.
Okay.
Orange one below that.
Yeah.
Yellow below that.
Mm-hmm.
Green below that.
Okay.
Blue. There, yeah. So red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then purple.
Okay. as you place the 6th marble in the hole, all the lights light up white briefly, and then they turn red. And Stix, can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Oh, for fuck. Yes. Yes, I can. You arse.
So, as the lights suddenly shine red, there is this sparking of electricity in the air, and your highly trained paladin senses kick in, and you jump backwards just as a bolt of electricity zaps out, and you manage to avoid being zapped.
Shit.
And
Okay.
all the marbles are ejected and scatter across the room.
What a shit prize for getting it right.
It's like one of those puzzles. Do you know, like, I don't know if you ever did this as a kid, and you put colours in certain spots, and then if it's like orange, that meant it's the right colour, wrong place.
Okay.
So basically, I think you got them all wrong.
I think I got them all wrong. Wow. Okay.
I think that's what it sounds like.
Okay, can I put them all...
Perception or investigation, yeah. If you want to investigate Arwen, you can, or you can perceive what's around you.
Can I put them all in the opposite space? So instead of red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, it is instead purple,
Is there
blue,
only one?
yellow, red. I don't know. Is there only one of each colour? Yeah.
No, there is a big bowl containing many of each colour.
Oh, I was not aware of that. Okay.
So, Stix, as you go to place them in, Arwen, you start looking around, and you notice that there is a little corner of a scrap of paper sticking out underneath the bowl on the pedestal. Stix, you place all 6 in again in their new arrangement. Can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
Die!
Arwen, you pull out this little piece of paper, and it's got... You manage to... Ready for it, Stix, you manage to jump back just as this spark of lightning lashes out towards you and avoid it.
Ah.
Arwen, as you unfurl this bit of paper, there is a poem written on it in a language you cannot read.
I cannot read any language, my dear.
That is true.
Who can read?
I read it.
Which of you speaks Goblin?
Aha!
Oh.
Stix, you can read it, and it reads: mud minus blood, grass without sun, blood, then grass, mud, then sky,
Oh, bloody
don't
hell.
die.
Say it again. Hold on. Be quick.
Yeah, mud minus blood.
Yep.
Mud.
Yeah.
Mud.
Grass without sun. I will type this into the chat now.
Blood.
Grass without sun.
Blood, then grass, mud, then
Grass.
sky,
Then
don't die.
grass. Mud.
Okay. Mud, and that is... So mud minus blood. Grass without sun. Blood, then grass. Blood, then sky. Don't die.
I think I'm missing a part. I know.
Okay. Mud minus blood. So mud, blood, still mud.
Mud.
Grass without sun goes brown or yellow. No, that's too much.
What's minus blood? I can't work out the first one, but I think it's...
Taking that.
So you have mud minus blood, grass without sun, blood, then grass, mud, then sky, that should be.
Okay, that's that. That takes.
Oh, mud. Blood then.
Okay, so we can assume that the last two are red and blue. Wait. Mud minus blood, so
Got
red.
it.
You got it?
Yeah. Hold on. Let me just make sure I do got it. Yeah.
What? Ow! Grass without sun.
Wait, read it one more time to me.
Mud minus blood.
Mud minus blood. Yep.
Grass without sun.
Yep.
Blood, then grass.
Mhm.
Mud, then sky.
Okay.
I ain't got shit.
I just want to see if they wanted to work it out. I don't want to ruin it.
I just can't work out what the first one is, but I want to say orange, blue, red, green, red, blue.
Oh yeah, I've messed that up. No, wait, hold on.
Mud?
Hold on.
Blood.
Orange is
Primary colours then.
so brown minus red. The next one, green minus yellow is blue. And then it would be red, green, red, blue.
Brown.
Grass, mud. But I can't work out brown minus red. Brown can be many colours.
Okay.
That was brown.
Yeah.
What do you get?
Oh.
I'll say orange.
While Klari is thinking away and potentially has coloured beads sort of laid out on the floor, Stix is just staring at it as if it's in another language. Arwen thinks for a bit and then pulls out 6 coloured beads and inserts them into the door in what order?
Green, blue, red, green, brown, blue.
Green, blue, red, green, brown, blue. As you insert each one into the slot, the small white light lights up, and then when they're all there, all the lights turn green, and this heavy wooden door.
How did you get that?
Same way I did, she just got the first one right.
Wait, so green?
That makes sense, yeah. Green. Yeah,
Green,
cool.
blue, red, green, brown, blue.
It's colour theory.
Yeah.
Which is quite apt that we happened to get onto colour theory completely at random at the beginning of the session.
That makes more sense.
Wait,
So brown
green.
take away red. So green and red make brown.
Green and red would make brown.
That does that.
No, to make brown, it's green.
You make one primary colour
orange.
to make brown, but if you take away red from your brown, you're just left with 2 primary colours which make green.
Oh, that's okay. That's rather clever.
Because green and yellow. Sorry, no, grass. Take yellow out of green, and it's just blue. It's blue, yellow, and green. And then the others are just what they say.
Darn.
So then it's just
Okay.
red, green, brown, blue.
Well, that was a rather good puzzle, but all sorts of confusing. And for a second, I thought we'd found beads of force, and got really excited.
This is where your knowledge as a DM and a high-level D&D player collides with.
Yeah, I
like,
thought,
I found a cool thing.
little coloured gem. I'll throw it and see what happens. It seems interesting. Completely forgetting about the little the holes in the wall. I thought that was like meant to indicate some kind of like worms or something.
Oh no, not more worms.
And
What?
as this door swings open before you, opens up a large expanse of blackness. If you zoom out.
Oh.
Large.
If
Oh,
you
right.
look to the bottom left.
Oh, there's a thing. Oh my god. Excuse me.
What is? Wow. What is this?
Oh no, it's a wormhole.
Oh dear Christ.
Not the wormhole.
Also, this thing must be massive. I love it. Okay.
I'm going to place a Neo token on the map to indicate where you all are, because I believe you can all move Neo's tokens around.
Yeah.
Yeah. He will indicate where you all are as a group.
Excellent. You better not die, or this is going to get very sad very quickly. Okay. I think.
I doubt it's the one tunnel. You have to put these in the end.
Oh, yeah.
Based on what you'll be able to see.
What's the one?
You'll be able to see a little bit more in that direction, actually.
Or read Goblin. Oh my god, this is a Goblin cave. Shit. That should have been obvious.
Oh, seriously.
Also, Goblins could do a puzzle I couldn't. Which is rather upsetting. Although when you look at Stix's actual intelligence, that kind of makes sense.
Was
Yeah. Maybe it's Smeag's cave!
Maybe he's there.
I'm gonna base everything around that hope and say we continue on. Let's go upwards. Can we get through there? We
Yeah,
we
you
can.
can walk through there.
It's very tight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, each one of these squares actually indicates 10 feet.
I see. Okay.
It was huge.
So, as you move on, that'll reveal. As you reach this point, you can.
What is that? Oh, the rocks. Right.
An interesting smell starts to reach your nose.
Interesting or disgusting?
Well, it's a mixture of both. There is quite a tantalizing smell. Seems to approach from this direction, and a rather fouler smell drifts in from the right, mingling in the air and combining, making them hard to identify.
Nice or bad smell?
I can make it worse if we want.
No.
Just check it. Okay, I think we should go stealthy
Stealthy.
because I feel like, yeah, I'm thinking Goblin Cave. I might be wrong, but that's my thoughts.
Ooh, sorry.
Pass without a trace.
I will do this though.
Okay.
If we're gonna be stealthy.
Then I think
Do you cast Scorching Ray? How many times did you cast Scorching Ray?
3. I did 2 at the
Oh.
big level
Okay.
and then 1 at this level.
So when you cast Pass Without a Trace, and almost like this mist seems to swirl around you all temporarily before it dissipates and your footfalls fall quieter, the echoing sound of your breathing, any little sort of little clinks and clanks of armour and things, all is muffled and quietened as you approach, but sound approaching you is still as loud as ever.
Wait, a sound approaching us?
Yes, so the sound that you output has been quietened by your spell, but you can still hear as well as ever.
Oh, okay. But
There isn't actually,
oh, okay.
at this point,
Oh no.
a sound approaching you.
yes.
which direction would you like to head in?
Nice smell.
And can everyone also make a stealth check? I don't think this will really matter, as you all have a +10, so Neo's rolled 16 overall. No, 17 overall. That's a stealth check, not a survival check.
Oh, whoops.
Oh, good.
Button. 22. Jesus.
Let's go. I heard-
Higher than Klari and Neo.
I heard Goblin Cave.
So a 16, a 22, a 35. Clary, can you beat a 35?
Yeah, I
I mean, the answer is technically yes. You can you.
We got +10.
Right, I was going to say, I don't think that's possible.
Oh,
Yes, you can.
oh, you little. Come let me have my little moment in the spotlight, could you? You just have to.
Self-smiting.
So,
Stealth smite.
who is leading? What is the marching order?
I will offer to go first, and I will pull out my shield
Okay.
and my sword and get very, very much ready to whack.
Okay.
I think. Unless anyone has any other ideas, I would like to go first. I'm just thinking AC at the front.
Okay. So Stix first. Second.
Anyone can speak Goblin.
Yeah.
Arwen second. Clary third and Neo bringing up the rear, or Clary, would you like to go last?
I think Klari will go at the back.
Okay. So Stix, Arwen, Neo, and Clary in behind. Okay. And which direction are you choosing to go in?
Well, we go where the sun rises.
Where's
So you
that?
leave?
East.
East. Okay.
East way.
Oh, that's the bad smell.
So indeed, you do head towards the.
What the fuck is that? Is that a rock? I hope that's a rock. Or is it
I really hope that's a rock.
And indeed, you come door to a small wooden gate. Or at least initially it looks like wood.
No.
Until you get up close and you realise that this gate is in fact made out of bones.
I knew it was going to be bones.
Shit.
And you find yourselves on the edge of a small pit.
Wait up.
Looking down into the pit, you can see 4, 5, 6 furry shapes in the darkness. Initially, they look to be lupine, like wolves, and then inspecting more closely, you can see that they have more powerful front legs and shoulders and chests. And you recognise these to be wargs, creatures you have fought goblins riding on before.
Oh god.
Several of them appear to be asleep, but a couple of them do seem to be up and almost sort of prowling around. Indeed, in the brief moments that you're watching, one of them cocks a leg and a stream of urine pisses out against a rock.
Nice.
Lovely.
Another one, almost seeing this as a challenge, the other one's prowling around, sort of turns and looks in its direction, and the two of them square up, and the growls ripple through the cave for a moment, rumbling, and you feel them sort of, although they don't physically shake, you can feel them vibrating through the air through you, and then without an imperceivable signal, the two of them launch themselves at each other, snarling and just yapping and biting and claws tearing into each other.
Lovely.
What would you like to do? You can see that again, there is a drop down and another fence on the opposite side. This boulder would be low enough that you could see over it. The path continued beyond, and again there would be a small fence. Looking like it's made out of wood, but you would suspect similarly it is also made from bones.
I think we don't go that way.
Yes.
I mean, it's less than 30 feet. You've got Misty Step Stix.
Disagree.
Work on. Like one person.
I don't want.
Oh yeah, Stix over the other side, and then what the fuck's he gonna do then?
I don't know. But I really loves to see it. So moving on towards the more pleasant smell, you find yourselves at a little crossroads.
Crossroads.
Where's the nice smell coming from?
Make a perception check.
That one.
18. So this nice smell drifts from two directions. There is a strong cooking smell drifting from the corridor to your right, and there is a more sweet smell on the air that floats in from your left.
Or like a flowery smell? Or
like the honey from outside.
oh, that's just me.
Oh. When the fuck did you get out of the shower?
No, I smell like the honey.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, right. I want to say go towards the sweet smell, but where there's nice smells, there could be bad things.
I mean, most things are better than those weird dogs that aren't dogs.
This is true, but most things don't have funny names like that. They have horrible names. Not that that matters in any sense. I'm just bringing up the fact that wog is a word.
I vote left. Which way's left? That way.
That way.
Ooh.
Okay. You head left.
Left.
Let's just do this tool.
Left. It is.
Is it a big loop? Oh.
I've missed the section in the middle. So you walk in and you find yourselves in what seems to be a storage room. There are rough-hewn shelves created, and on them are stored many sort of earthenware pots with like fabric laid over the top and bound with leather cording around, and the fabric seems to have been soaked in some sort of tarry substance to almost seal it. There is a large quantity of dried meat hanging on in strips on racks. It's quite warm and cool in here. Warm and cool? Warm and dry in here. As you look over, you can see that there's almost seems to be sort of in a couple of stages. There seems to be some that's prepared and almost completely dried and ready to store, and some seems to be a little bit more moist and seems to have a little bit more moisture still within the drying strips. But yeah, all the pots and things seem to have things written in Goblin in them. Stix, you will be able to identify these as simple descriptions of things like flour, butter, and some of them have slightly more abstract descriptions, like almost like they were used in a recipe, like good with nuts, tasted bad, made grog ill. But also you would see if you picked any of these up on the reversed side, they all have similar labels in Elven.
Do we think they stole them from elves?
Can anyone speak Elven?
You can.
I know I can, but can anyone
I also can.
read it?
I was going to ask about this, because obviously Claire doesn't really know any languages. She comes from another land.
Mm-hmm.
A very elven-like land. Obviously, her people are very similar. So do you think she would be able to understand that?
So you have proficiency in a number of languages. I'm going to say one of them will be common, and then I will let you choose, as this hasn't really come up before, you can choose 2 others. You can decide during the week, it's fine, that you would like, having prepared to travel here, you would have, we'll say you would have studied well enough to have proficiency in knowing where you were coming. You would have just sort of picked 2. I mean, if you want to pick any of them now, you can, or you can pick them during the week.
I would like to make Elven one of them.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
I think it would probably be similar to the languages Clary knows anyway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I'll think about the other one during the week.
No problem.
Stix is reading it, I think.
Pardon?
Stix.
Yeah, so we've got these. I reckon the goblins these goblins or goblinoids or whatever have stolen whatever this stuff is from the elves. They must have. Then brought them down here. Sounds interesting. Is there anything? I mean, we don't really have need for anything like that. Could there potentially be enough stuff to make up like a set of rations or something?
Yeah, you could definitely think that taking sort of, some of this dried meat and things like that, you could easily claim some rations or enough food to fill your bag with rations. There are also 2 giant, very large barrels that have this sweet honey-like smell coming off them, and all that is written on them is the good stuff.
What colour is it?
Do you want to open them up?
Yes. What colour is it?
Okay. When you open them up, one of them has a thick red honey-like liquid inside. The other has a much brighter, but also much thinner liquid inside. This is the one that is labelled the good stuff.
I always got stung by bees for nothing.
And indeed, as Arwen lifts the lid off these 2 barrels, runes etched in them glow briefly, and you hear a shout. Who's in... Well, Stix, you hear, who's in my stores? I'll have your fingers. And everyone else just hears... And I think we will leave it there for the session.
is a very strange language to understand.
Doesn't sound like Smeek.
No, indeed.
It doesn't sound like Sneak, and it also doesn't sound like a little goblin. I'm thinking a bit of a bigger one.
I thought we were going to go, I'm
What's
a
in
bit of a bitch.
Who can
I
say?
mean,
Attacked by goblins.
oh, he was,
I
but
don't
then we
think he would
freed him.
be in a. No, I mean, I don't think he would be in a goblin cage.
Unless
He was being
he's
attacked
now
by something.
leading goblins. I doubt it.
I
But,
think his people have turned against him
yeah,
for some reason.
Don't think so.
I think that.
I love him dearly, but
You don't credit him with the intelligence of the rewrites entire cave plot. How dare you underestimate Smeek?
yes, please.
Well, you can find out what's in the rest of this cave next week.
We're really good at stumbling upon random caves.